And we're back. The Strength Trials, File 7. This week, not really a topic. We're going to talk about some progression methods when you're working up in weight on max effort days. But other than that, I want to give you a little update on the training. I did 6 consecutive weeks of almost slow negatives, working that eccentric phase of the bench press. On my dynamic days, I did 3-week wave with straight bar to pins. Then I did a 3-week wave with a bow bar with a pause on the chest. And this is my first week back doing just a straight up traditional bench. I'm trying to work with a little bit of a heavier bar weight. That's 180 pounds for 10 sets of triples. Just want to be able to feel a little bit heavier weight and drive through those lifts to the top. I feel like I'm not going heavy enough on dynamic effort bench because I'm only using 135 a lot of the videos. If you look back on, I'm only using a plate. And that's not even close to 50% of my max in the bench. So we're going to bump that up. We're going to look at around 365-ish, so 50% of that's around 180 roughly. So we're going to give that a roll for a couple weeks. I might change bars. I think I'm going to use a football bar this week coming up, but I'll still use that same 180 pounds. Really got to focus on form and not collapsing my chest in the bottom of the bench press. That's a big thing that I seem to do. I drop really fast, and that chest kind of just caves down, and it almost turns it into a little bit of a heave for myself, but I lose tightness, and it's a very inefficient way to bench press, so I have to clean that up. I have to work on tricep strength still is a limiting factor for me, and just overall speed. So I managed to get back to regular speed bench. It should be fun. I know last Monday was. Here's Kyle. Kyle finally got his video camera to work. Here he is doing 415 for a good-looking 5. He's still doing that daily undulating periodization. He's squatting, benching, and doing some type of deadlifting, whether that's a barbell row or a deadlift from the floor or deadlift from deficit or blocks, whatever it is. He's doing that usually twice a week. But he is doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He seems to be enjoying it. His weights have progressively gotten heavier. I think he started around 350-ish. Now he's already up to 415, so hopefully that pays off for him come our December meet. Here's my dynamic effort day. I'm working with 225 on the camber bar with some chain. This too, in my dynamic effort squat days, I'm going to start raising my percentages. I know 225 isn't a lot. I think I max out around 500 with that cambered bar, but I'm going to try to gradually increase that over the next probably two waves, so 6 weeks. So we're going to get back up to moving some dynamic weight that's relatively heavy, so it's not just a walk in the park for me. Followed up with 315 for 10 sets of 2. I finally got back to about 50% of my deadlift max without accommodating resistance. That 10 doubles is an ass kicker. It definitely hurts conditioning and lower back fatigue, so got to keep working that. As I'm talking in the beginning, I want to talk maybe progression. Here's my max effort day. I went 225 for one, 255 for one, 275 for one, and then I got stupid. I should have went with 285 for one and called it a day. I went for 300, and this rep is stupid. It's ugly. I definitely didn't hurt myself, but there's some tension in my shoulder now. I don't know, my ass is off the bench. It's just stupid. I should have thought more about it. I was going for a PR. I got a lift off the last time I did that, and I got 295. So I was looking to maybe get a PR without a lift off, and hammer away at it. But I wasn't happy with that press day. But I know Sammy was with his. There he is doing 425 for a nice easy single. Does some dumbbell overheads to follow that up, and then Kyle comes in with his deadlift day here. I think he should have put on a little bit of heavier weight, but he said maybe next time. Here's 455 off, I would say maybe a 4.5-inch block. It's a pretty deep deficit. Gives you a lot of leg drive off the bottom of the lift. Finishes it strong. And then we move into my max effort squat day. I use a safety squat bar with average bands. Here's 365. Before this, I hit 325. Then 365 and 385, and I topped out at 405. That bar does weigh 65 pounds. It is a bitch of a bar. I'm pretty fatigued here with football season going on. So this is around 4:45 in the morning. I didn't get home the following night from our game around, I think I got home at 11:30. So sleep is definitely an issue right here. And with that being the case, I backed off of deadlifting this week. I just hit a bunch of accessories, but I wanted to touch on them as you watch this here 405 with with the average brace. Not bad. Back caved a little bit, knees stayed out, finished the lift strong. I might have had another 20 pounds in me, but like I said, I was pretty tired, so I called it there. I followed up. This is my main glute exercise. You can see it in past videos. It's a tremendous isolation movement for the glutes. It's just a stiff leg kettlebell swing. I make sure that I flex my quads and my glutes as hard as I can, almost like the top of a sumo deadlift. I do these on Saturdays for about 3 to 4 sets of 20. Very high rep numbers with this. I would do this after I normally deadlifting, but since I pulled the deadlift out, I just moved into the accessories to hopefully maintain a little, or at least limit fatigue as we move into the next week of training. And then I followed up, of course, with the favorite reverse hypers. I was down at PCS Sports Performance down North Carolina, and the guy down there really reinforced my hyper technique. Just don't lay on the hyper. You want to arch as hard as you can. Try to drive that head up. Feel the whole posterior chain light up. And the way I've been doing it now, I really get a serious back pump. So I'm going to up my weight in the reverse hypers and also the reps, see where that takes me. Hope everybody has another good week of training. Stay safe and stay strong.